All right. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, everybody is having a great week. Virginia and I are back after a week sabbatical. Not really. I was in California and she was busy, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's been an interesting few weeks. So, how have you been, Virginia?
I've been good. I've been trying to get my house back into order. Had a person that came in from Lexington. She got on our website and she found out that I was in Versailles, and she called me. Well, she texted me and said, Can I just come to your house?" And I ended up really enjoying her. She was very sweet. So yeah, I've had that, but I've been trying to do my house. It's been crazy. The weather here has been crazy. You burn up at 86 degrees, and then today, right now, it's only 70. It's been raining. Now we got some sun. I can't even do my garden because it's such a mess. It's just
Wow.
crazy. Just
Well,
this not good weather. A lot of things are happening. So what's going on with you? How have you recouped from California?
yeah. Well, first of all, let's just say the weather is surprising in the area I was at in California. So Temecula, while I get off in the airport in Ontario, and it's about 62 degrees out. And I'm
Yes.
like, I'm in California, but something told me to bring my jacket.
Yes.
And then I got, it was pretty much that, in the afternoons it gets warmer, but
Yeah.
it's not like Florida weather where it's, the humidity and everything like that. And yeah, I mean, it's not freezing, but it's just not, I had to have a jacket. So, anyways, long story short, yeah, I am recovered. I came back. I was low on electrolytes, so I had to, take care of that. So it was, I feel better from that. But yeah, the one of the things that I wanted to chat about today was, um, taking leaps of faith and having discernment on that. Because I met, I already told you this story, Jenny, but I met Dr. Vitale last week, and one of the things that meeting some of these celebrities is, it's good to do is you find out we can say it with our mind and our words, but they're human. So, am I moving really slow?
No.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. It just looks like it's slow on my side.
Well,
Anyways,
now
um,
you're frozen. Now you're frozen.
okay.
Now you came
Well,
back.
I don't. Okay. Well, whatever. At least as you can hear me. Yeah.
That's sweet. That's all. Well, and I did send out Borana. I did send an email thanking her too, and I did talk
Oh,
to Kelly. So
oh, okay.
I was very proud of them how they had to handle that, how we had to
Yeah,
go
and
through.
I want to chat with that in just a second because basically what you find out is these people are human. They're human beings, as I'm sure some of you have found out with Virginia and I. When it's different when they're on a screen, and I don't care how popular they are. If you're watching them, they're still, you don't know them necessarily personally, and so when you get to know them in more of a intimate setting, you just really get, it's really different.
You
And
see the real
so
deal. You see the real
yeah,
deal.
you see the real deal. And I think that that's a blessing for anybody because what are we supposed to be doing is connecting to souls. And I
Hmm.
love the online stuff. It's not a bad thing, but I love to connect with people in person and get to know them. So,
That's
um,
exactly.
and so that brings me back to my original point of taking a leap of faith. So, I'm a project manager, so everything has to run perfectly. I like everything to run perfectly. So last week we had our webinar, and I sign on at about 10:30 California time, which was about 1:30 Florida time.
Hmm.
And I knew that because I know my laptop. I only use my laptop for um, a few things. I use it basically to travel, and so I carried it out there, and I sign on 30 minutes early because I know it moves slow, and I just haven't bought another one because I literally just use it to travel with. So, um, anyways, long story short, it decides to update about 30 minutes, and it's going on, and I'm like, there's no way it's going to take an entire 30 minutes, but about 10 minutes till it's still updating. And so I sign on with my phone, but the hotel internet is I'm not don't have a very good cell signal. The hotel internet is being used by all the people at the retreat. The city internet that's free is being used by all the people in downtown. and I'm not getting a very good signal. But I get on Zoom. I tell everybody it's just going to be a few minutes. Virginia was actually having trouble on her side as well, and so we didn't really get in until about 13 minutes after 2 o'clock Eastern, and Virginia's getting frustrated and all that kind of stuff. But when I talk about the leap of faith, what I'm getting at here is that you can take a leap of faith, and it doesn't mean everything's going to run smoothly. It just means that it'll be exactly the way it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the blessing in all this. We end up running a little late, so I'm supposed to be downstairs at the retreat at a certain time, and so this means I'm going to be about 13 minutes late. It actually ends up running late, starting because they're finished setting up, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that was going on logistically. But Virginia, I'll let her tell her side. It's like I go on. Two of our students from our membership are actually teaching
Yes.
the group. So that really brings you down into divine timing, divine order, divine plan. Make it easy. And so I'll let Virginia tell her side of it. But it's it was
I was very frustrated. It wasn't Jeremy at all. It was I had not fulfilled something that I needed to, and I had not realized it. But the thing is, what I was proud of is that our two students that have been working with us for the last 8 months, they took over while we're trying to deal with the the internet. They are teaching and explaining through their experience what they had with me, and that conversation between those two. You heard the conversation. I didn't, because I couldn't hear it. But the thing is, we gained 3 memberships through that, didn't we? With them talking, they did it.
Yeah, and here's the beauty, and it's one of those things where, and of course I'm traveling, and we got this retreat going on. So Donna, who's the retreat leader, she's having to go and get her hair done and everything else because she's going to be doing pictures, and we're giving one of the Los Angeles Tribune is an agency to give the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. So they're giving away one of those awards. So she, of course, has to get ready because her hair can't be all over the place for the pictures for the media and stuff like that. And it was cute because she's getting ready. She's like, "Well, I may have to change in there." I'm like, "You're like a sister to me." I mean, it's not, but she didn't have to do that. She went into the bathroom, but it was funny, the logistics and all the moving parts. And some people would find all that stuff really stressful, and I'm not going to say I didn't get stressed, because I did, because I don't like running late, and that, like I said, the project manager in me was like, "Oh my god, this can't work be like this." But what do? You let it go.
Because when I realized it was my fault on my side, and I was pissed, and it was me that I was pissed at. So I didn't realize it. So and I was really getting really frustrated, and I finally had to tell Jeremy, I said, "That's my fault. It was my fault. It was my fault."
Well, what happens is there's a registration form you have to do, and I usually do it for her.
Yes.
And then I send her the link, and I just couldn't do it because I was doing all the other stuff, setting up chairs and all that other kind of stuff. So, and it's funny because I usually test my internet wherever I'm going. If I have something, I try to do it like hours in advance or a day in advance. So
Right.
was on a podcast the night before as a guest, and everything was working fine. And then the next day it wasn't. So I was like laughing because I was like, "You know what, Spirit? You're just like to mess with me."
Which really messing with yourself. So yeah.
Pretty much.
That's how you got to do that, though, is it's divine order, divine timing, divine plan. Even though we get frustrated, this is what I love about our groups, our soulful groups, is because they really, like Kelly was saying to me, she said, "You just don't know how nice it is to hear that you all go through hell like we all do." I mean, I had plumbing problems and all of this stuff going on. And she said, "It's just so nice to know that people like you all have to go through it too." And I said, "Why would you think that we didn't?" She said, "Because it makes everybody look like all these people that are talking, they have everything smoothed out." I said, "Oh, that's BS. That's not true, because everybody goes through their ups and downs. You got to. That's part of the energy of it." So, I really appreciate when they say that to us, because they really do appreciate what we say, because we're being real. I mean,
Well, that's
you're not trying to be any better than I am or anything. We're just real.
that's what I realized when I was doing all the interviews I did over the years. Is you find out that these people are going through the same problems you're going through. They get just as upset, and they're human.
Well, it's just like when I got pissed, I was mad at myself. I wasn't mad about anybody else. I just realized that when it was my problem, and then we criticize ourselves. Why did I? And I thought, you got to get out of that too. You got to stay in the know what, the now, the moment. Not get
Yeah,
upset.
I think that's important to talk about because like you're gonna make mistakes or whatever they are, whatever you want to call it. Because people will correct me and like opportunities. I'm like, yes, I get it. But it's just things are gonna happen, and if things are gonna happen, so you can just be like, you know what, that happened, and I'm not gonna worry about it
Now, it's
because
over now. It doesn't really matter because I was really mad about the plumber when he walked out with the $1,200. And I had all of this thought. I thought I'm going to go down there and I'm going to, well, it didn't work, and I didn't want to go back through it again. I thought just lose the money, and then the money comes back, and it has. So it's not about losing it; it's about you getting, well, I believe these people, but inside, this is what makes me mad. I knew they were doing it. I knew they weren't right, but I still went through the whole process and wrote it out. So, but I ended up getting better plumbers and people that were more aware. So you have to go through some of this stuff. Sometimes you got to lose to find a lot that you've gained in the knowledge of what you've had. And that's what I had to do. So I just let the money go, let these people go, because that's going to come back to them one way or the other. So
yeah,
I'm not going to be all bent out of shape over it anymore.
I think that's the blessing. Because I mean, like I think about all the times that I've had somebody hurt me or made a mistake or done something business wise with them, and then they disappoint me, and it's and I saw all the red flags. It's just one of
Oh,
those
I
things.
did too. But still stayed
And
in it for 3 days.
yeah, yeah.
But
Well, I
also
mean,
what I learned.
look what I was doing in the beginning of 2020. We were doing really well with those expos, and then my business partner just lost momentum, like they did on everything. And I knew that was going to happen eventually. I was really proud of them in the beginning because it was like, wow, you're really doing well, and you're really well. This means something to me. And then we got derailed because of COVID, and they lost all momentum. So
Yes. And I think it gave everybody to get pushed down. And now people are still lost. I mean, it's very obvious. I don't know if we'll ever gain that momentum because I think that momentum's been changed to a different energy now. So you've
yeah,
got to learn how to ride the energy. You know, I just know that what I'm doing and what you're doing is the best thing we can be doing. And I mean, there's a lot of people that are really they're learning. I mean, I'm seeing all the work that we have done, and when you start telling people how to really utilize what we've been teaching, this girl that came in to see, she contacted me. She said, "Oh my God, I never, why?" She said, "I've been meditating all for years and years and years. Why didn't anybody say this is the kind of meditation that we go in and you're really working with it instead of just being still?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I was trained on a higher level, so I never saw it anything different."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so
They just try to calm their mind, and they don't do anything else with it. So, and then instead of being active with it, um, it's I don't know why that's taught that way. I don't know if it's well, maybe at the time when it was somebody first came up with this with meditation, thousands of years ago, that was necessary based on the consciousness, and then
right.
we've changed.
Yeah.
So
And
well,
yoga should be done within. I was just listening to Dr. Joe what is it?
Dispenza.
Dispenza. And I was listening to him. This girl was talking about him. We're doing the same work. That's why I knew this man when I saw him. What the bleep? That's how I met him.
Mhm.
And when he said he did his own spine, well, I had already done that myself. And it was so nice to hear somebody else had done it because I used to never think anybody could do it. I thought I was some kind of, my superpower was I could heal myself. Well, he started talking about, I thought, well, then by golly, we all can do this. Keep on doing it.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Well, it says all these things that I do, you can do too, and
yeah,
better.
there you go. And I mean, and this is what I get a lot of the emails back is you had the courage to say, we can do the same thing as Jesus. And I thought, why didn't we say that a long time ago? Because he
Yeah.
said it right there in the Bible.
Yeah.
So, people, I was working with this guy and he said, you just said it. You didn't know it was blasphemy. I said, why would Jesus say it? You think he lied? So you're still frozen. Now you're back.
Yeah, they crack me up too when they say things like that. One like my favorite one is when they make judgments about people and how they are or their choices in life, and I'm like, you do believe that God doesn't make mistakes, right? And
Right.
they're like, I'm like, okay, well then I'm confused.
Well, and because good choices, you've got to really look at the choice that's going to be the betterment of you. A lot of people don't want to choose the betterment choice because it's not what they want. They much rather
Well,
go
and
through the misery of it or the struggle.
I think that the other mistake is that sin just means missing the mark,
That's
and
it.
so
That's
um
it.
and so missing the mark, I miss the mark all the time. I make the wrong turn when the GPS says make a left, I make a right. And it's somebody said God GPS stands for God Positioning System. I thought that was hysterical.
I never heard that.
Yeah, that was good. And so, but that's your internal energy that's taking you to whatever, your spirit, your inner world guiding you. So, yeah,
Yes. And it is a mind deal, but you've got to clear your mind and discipline that to work for you, not against you. And there are two worlds going on. So you better figure out which world do you want to follow. And
yeah,
everybody said, that doesn't feel right. I said, because you're so used to being in the other world, is why it feels more comfortable to be struggling and upset, or this is how it works. I want to fix it. I said, that's not how the world I live in.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't live that way. Now I did get mad. I went down to the police station, 2 weeks ago, a week or so, whenever it was, and I was mad as hell with all the police because I knew things have changed. The law doesn't stand for us; it stands for the criminal. This.
Right.
I mean, I showed this guy has made all these. And he's that doesn't matter. That doesn't. I thought now 60 years when in the 60s that guy wouldn't have made it because we don't have the same kind of connections with people anymore.
Well, what's happened is that things have gone to court,
Yes.
and then somebody has proven, or a jury has said, no, that's not fair that you did this, and that's in our laws, or our police have evolved into whatever they're demanded by
Mhm.
courts of law, and they're afraid of being sued and
That's it
that
right
kind of
there.
stuff.
They've been
So
sued so many times and wrong. But the thing is, it's not benefiting to the real true of what we are. And really, we shouldn't have to have laws like that. We should be able, a long time ago in the 60s, honey, you could shake somebody's hand and that was the contract right then. Then the law got involved and said, you got to have a contract. That's when things started changing. And I'm
yeah,
back into, I like bartering. And so I'm bartering some people that are kids. So that helps me because it's the same value. And
yeah,
it's not about money now. It's about, because I have a young girl that's coming in to work with my garden and my house and I'm teaching her. So that's bartering. And she's here.
yeah.
So in
I
that,
don't. Yeah, there's not, and I don't think there's anything wrong with
I don't either.
bartering. I mean, and it depends. I mean, sometimes, I mean, I have to still pay for bills, and I can't have it out of balance. But that's, I think, one of the things I was going to in earlier is that discernment is a key thing to abundance. Like I told you that story about Dr. Vitale and the $15 million show that was offered to him, and he said, mm, "No, that's not going to work," because they basically told him they were going to control him,
Yes. Oh,
and or they would own him, is the words they use. And I'm like, that would have been like, I'm out.
me too. I would be,
And he
I know. But I
and
remember
he
we were thinking about what was it? Hay House, and you were looking at it, and then you found out that they could take all, they were taking your work, your material, and they could fix
Well,
it the way they wanted to.
yeah, they've done that to some friends of mine. The editors edit it in a way where they take
It
big
fits, it
chunks of it
fits
out, and
their dynamics.
yeah, and I mean they're a corporation though. They're going to run their business the way they want to, and you're either going to like it or don't publish through them. So
That's exactly. Or don't be, and I had to wait. Same thing you did. I made the decision a long time ago I wasn't going to be a celebrity. And then I ended up being what people think is a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity, but people have been indicated that I am.
oh, I know we get on our soulful groups and people are like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like no, no, no. And to
So,
be honest with you, in the healing genre, I mean, like nobody really is a celebrity. I mean, like I know people like I bring up Dr. Moody to people and they're like, "Who's that?" And it's because if you're not in that genre, if you don't read those kind of books, then you're not going to know.
no,
Um, but even like pop culture, I mean, that you tell somebody like you talk to somebody that's older and you say Ariana Grande, not all of them are going to say, "Oh yeah, I know who that
no,
is," because it's just not their music, So,
no. It's
and
not
good
our
morning, Melissa.
Yeah.
Um, right, and so it's one of those things. Is that really fame
Is that
or a
really
celebrity?
real?
I mean,
That's illusional. What we're talking
yeah,
about is
and then
illusion.
I start to think celebrity is all relative.
That's it.
So it's one of those things where um, it's just dependent on the person. So and I don't want that. So I enjoy just being here and enjoying my life, and then whatever that works out, and I meet people and meet friends, and connect with Melissa. I met in I think 2016. She's watching right now, and we did a workshop at her house in Minnesota with snow and everything else outside. And I had been around. No, it wasn't snow. It wasn't even. It was. I don't remember. It was. I think September, so it was cold outside. There wasn't snow, but it was. Um, I hadn't been. I don't think I've been back to Minnesota since then. So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is people miss they really misinterpret who we really are. And that's what bothers me about my emails. They think me being, I got to heal them. I got to take care of them. And that's not true. This is the thing we fight for all the time because we teach people how to heal themselves, not heal from me or you, but for themselves. We're empowering them. And a lot of people don't want to be empowered by that. They want somebody to fix it or give me a pill or do something. And I don't do that. I know you don't do that. That's what used to bother me about all those emails because I couldn't help them like that. It was very hard for me. And I mean, that's why I've got eczema to this day from all of this.
Is,
It's like overwhelming people thinking you're going to heal them.
is that getting better? The eczema?
It's getting better. But when
Dermatologist.
my dermatologist said this was genetic, I knew that's wrong. I mean, I've done this research. It's autoimmune. She said, look right now. I said, I just don't believe that. She said, Jenny, that's what it is. I said, no, it is not. I said, you've changed the Gen X in me then because I've never had anything like this. And I still, it is, I mean, it's 100% better. But that was emotional, what we were seeing. You and I went through some really strange things. The first 8 weeks was hell on wheels when you were trying to put it together. I was trying to put it together. It was hard for us at the beginning. Not hard in the sense what people, it's just living in that energy. We rode in the first 3 weeks. It was great. Then that was a drop, remember? And then it came back. That's what shows me is that, and then that video came back in, and a lot of things happened again. So, but we got better. We are
Yeah.
much better with it than
Yeah.
we were before. So, but
And
we
Melissa,
months in. So,
well, and it's like anything that you have to kind of build into it. And Melissa, I need to head up to Minnesota because my family in Detroit Lakes is wondering when I'm going to come and visit. So,
wow.
um, but yeah, you build into things. Nothing ever happens right away. When you start a new job, you don't necessarily know everything about the culture and how they do things, you know. And that's part of the, you have to ask a lot of questions because you're new.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah,
Absolutely.
so I just wanted to point out a couple things. Let me share my screen really quick. And I don't know why I'm looking at the screen acting like I don't know how to do the it's as my coffee still hasn't hit.
Well, I've been up early, so and going to bed late and getting up early. I don't know what that is because I went to bed last night almost 12 o'clock, and I don't. I'm just not
That's not
sleeping very well.
that's not usually you. Usually it's me
Uh,
keeping you awake when I'm
Usually
up
by
there.
9 o'clock, and I couldn't. I don't know if it's the energy. There's something going on though, and I haven't sat down long enough to figure it out. So,
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this is not wanting to let me share my screen.
isn't that crazy?
Well, let's go. It's this. I'm on the laptop, and it's I
I know
bought
you've
this.
gone in and out quite a bit.
I
To,
think that's just going to be the thing because I switched computers to see if I could not have to do this, and it doesn't really matter what I do. It's what computer I'm on. If I'm on my phone, then
energy.
something
I
else.
mean, it's energy. It's the Wi-Fi and all of that. It's been different.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just going to go in on the desktop real quick, and then I'll show you guys. But anyways, while I'm doing that, it's um, well, that's weird. How's that happening? What's bad is when you're on. Oh, I know why. Never mind. This is me having a moment here. So I was just laughing at something. So I don't know if you guys ever do these like silly when you're trying to pay attention to something and then your mind just goes somewhere completely different and
There
you
it is.
anyways it's called a brain fart. Yeah, I just want to share this with you. Obviously, if you come here to mydivineinheritance.org, our website, I put the updated you know episodes here, but you can go to the YouTube channel here and you can find everything you need. There's a bunch of modules in here that we only charge $25 for. We have a membership that we have people you've heard us talk about here that you just join there. And then what I really want to say is we have these sessions coming up um, that are on. There's one on the 25th and one on the 29th. So today's the 24th. So tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. And this hasn't been updated yet, but the next one is, I believe, June 15th. It's the third Saturday of every month from 2
Yes,
to
it is.
4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
And so I'll have this updated, and because I've already started to get emails from people asking when's the next one. So, um, and so that's pretty much it. And then, oh, I know, down here, everybody always asks about stuff. So if you click, I'll go all the way down to the website
That's all the
at the end of the
questions.
there's all this stuff in here that we compiled for free. There's a meditation here at the top. There's all these different books and links to videos and stuff like that are free.
Hmm.
So people will tell us that they don't have a lot of money, and I'm like, well, it's free. It's
And we
free.
say there's free stuff on here. All you have to do is the books are not even, you can find the books on PDFs. So, I
Yeah,
mean, we've done a lot of deep work on free stuff. And it just blows me away when they say I don't understand. I'm thinking,
yeah.
it's there.
Well, I think it's the end of our time,
I do
and
too.
you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourself,
And it's
and
Memorial Day weekend. So have a good swimming day.
yeah,
That's what
I forgot that it was going to be a 3-day weekend, and I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, crap! I don't have to work on Monday."
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna end the show, and everybody have a blessed weekend. Bye bye.
Have a good one.